Hello YouTube, welcome to Lisa's World 6. I am bringing to you today a tutorial on how to tile over formica. I decided to do a formica backsplash which was a big mistake a few years back, and I am just getting around to making changes in my kitchen, and I just wanted to bring you along, and hopefully the information I give you today will be helpful tips for anyone that's on a budget. I'm always on a budget and looking for ways to cut costs since I am limited on income, but there's no reason to be limited on resources. So here we go. I decided to go ahead and give you a list of items because I could never find information that would work for my situation. So at any rate, these are a list of the items. I have here a sanding block. It's just like the foam sanding block. You can see when you squish it. But it has enough tooth to it to use along with the Windex to degrease the area on the back of the wall behind the stoves and any other place that you're going to tile over. Also, I decided to go with the Goop adhesive. I've been using this for many years and just wanted to give you an idea of different things that you can use this on, whether it's ceramics, metal, laminate, wood, and more. And believe you me, I have used it on just about everything, and it works, and it is waterproof, and it permanently bonds to whatever you use this on. So just keep that in mind, that once it is bonded, it's probably never coming off, so just be aware of that. Along with, I have a scissors, and that's just cutting the tile to fit around different areas like your outlet or in your corners where you have to make adjustments when this tile sheet is too large for it. And then to hold the tile sheet up, once I have adhered to the wall with the Goop, I use Scotch packaging tape or shipping tape, and it's the heavy duty shipping tape. And the reason being is because when you use this, it has just enough hole that keeps the tile from sliding down or moving once you put it in place, but it does not leave a sticky residue like duct tape or any other tape. Masking tape, I found that is not strong enough, so this works out great. And when you take it off, it doesn't leave anything on the wall. Also, I went with a glass tile sheet. It's 12 by 12, and it's a recycled glass tile. And the reason I went with this one is because, one, Lowe's had it on clearance online. Normally these sheets run anywhere from $5 on up to $12. For this one, each one of these sheets cost me 71 cents, would you believe it? So I went ahead and I ordered every last one that they did have online, because not only am I doing my backsplash, but I will also be using that tile in the bathroom and any other place that I could think of, because it was such a good cost. So I will go ahead and get started. What I normally do is take the Windex, I spray it on the sanding block, and I know this sounds crazy, but it works. So I spray it on the sanding block. I take the block, without making a mess, to the wall, and then I just scrub. And that, let's see, yeah, that tends to lift up, even though you may wipe it with a cloth and all these other fancy cleaners, this tends to pick up, if you can see, the little bits of baked on grease crap that's on a backsplash. So you're not using a lot of muscle, believe it or not. That just comes off real easy. Okay, I wanted to show you what it looks like when you tape. You probably can't see the tape, but when I'm starting to pull that off, and this was from yesterday, it comes off clean. This tape is really good, and it normally takes 24 hours. In my opinion, I would not take the tape off sooner, but you can leave it on upwards of, I've left it on for like 2 to 3 days and then took it off and didn't have a problem. Okay, I wanted to give you an idea of how I put the glue on the back of the tile. I've already separated from the paper that is underneath it. And I normally just go not randomly, but each tile get a dot about the size of a pea on each tile. And it's just like that. You don't want to put too much and you don't want to put too little, but just enough. And what happens is when you press it against the wall, the formica, it will spread. So just keep that in mind, and that cuts down on excessive waste, because the goop actually, in my opinion, is expensive. It's roughly $5 a tube, but I get it from AC Moore, where I could use either anywhere from a 40% off up to a 55% off. It just depends on from one week to the next, and they're pretty good about that. So for me, it runs about $2.50 a tube. Each one of these tubes can cover at least 7 to 8 tile boards, and that way you get more for your money. But for me, it's more about security to make certain that these tiles will not come off of that backsplash. Some people may say, oh, why don't you just rip it out and put the backer board, the concrete board? Well, financially, a complete demo of this kitchen is not going to work for me. So you just have to get creative and do things yourself the best way you know how. Okay, I went ahead and put this tile up. Since I am working with one hand, it's almost impossible to hold a camera and put it up. But as you can see, as I'm moving it, you need to leave just enough of the gap for your grout. You still can work with it and push it and move it, and you got good little work time on it. And the areas that you see where some of the glue will squish through, just take your finger and clean that up. And the same board, or I say board, but the cardboard that the tile came on, I just use that to wipe the excess off, or if I have another tile that I'm trying to get ready, I never want to waste too much. So you press it in place, and then from there you will, I normally have my tape, strips of tape ready to go to put on the tile, and that way that saves a step. I normally put anywhere from 5 to 6 strips of tape, roughly about 4 inches long, 4 to 5 inches long. Sounds like a lot, but it's really not. And then all of the areas that you see here, those are the areas that I would need to cut the tile pieces to fill in, but I will show you that on a separate video. Just make certain that you give the glue time enough to dry, 24 to 48 hours, and then you can remove your tape, move on to your next step. I normally do at least 2 to 3 tiles per day. Have a well ventilated area. The goop sometimes have a stinky smell. Not too bad for me, but it all depends on the person. So at any rate, I would like to thank you again for tuning in at Lisa's World 6, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.